All right, what's going on, everybody? So, how to keep your service dog safe? All right. Now, obviously, you want to keep your dog next to you, but you also want to maintain communication with your dog. And remember, communication is unique to you. All right, you and your dog's needs. Okay. The more you understand and you focus on developing and connecting with that relationship you have with your dog, you start to realize that a lot of these people who are going online trying to say what is a service dog and what is not and what it's supposed to do and what it's not. They are taking exaggerations and they are flipping it for their agendas so that people can purchase the products that they are also promoting, such as harnesses that say service dog, when by law you don't need a harness that says service dog. Okay, so this is the image they are portraying in the videos. There's a lot of them. I'm not surprised that they are white. All right, I'm gonna just be blunt. I'm not surprised because they are the stereotype of white. Okay, so anyways, all right, that doesn't mean that it's all white people, but anyways, it's not surprised to be seeing that it's certain people who meet a certain skin complexion, unfortunately. All right, not limited to them either. All right, because it's Hispanics, everybody, even black. It's just stupid people who fit these black and white stereotypes. Really serious. Anyways, so the way a service animal is to be kept safe, and what makes a service animal and what makes your animal a service animal is your relationship. All right, some people have used videos of a little service animal in training walking off, saying this is not what a service animal does. It's like, hold on, that service animal could be a service animal in training. All right, if the owner, not owner, I don't want to say owner, but if their guardian fell asleep, all right, because they were exhausted, you're no one's in no position to tell that person, oh, your animal is not a service animal because it went off. Okay, the animal is looking for help. That could be looking for help. So we don't know these full stories. They don't tell you the full story because they don't get the full story and they don't want you to see the full story. They only want you to see what they are seeing in their perspective and how they can paint it towards their agenda so that you can see it. And then next time you see something like that, now you start to act the same foolishness that they are acting, trying to say, oh, that's not a service animal. All right. So today, myself, I had four service animal violations, and I'm handling all of them again. All right, and it's gonna be over very soon. Okay, very quickly. It's already over because I've mediated more than nine. More. This has got to be more than 12. We're stacking up. I've stacked up on a lot of mediation cases I've had to handle when it comes to my dog. All right, being a service animal, because you got people with their own insecurities and don't understand, and they're incompetent of the actual laws, and they're incompetent how these things actually work. All right. So, anyways, do not be fooled by these people trying to tell you that this service animal has to have an ID, has to have a harness. That's not the law. Go to ada.gov. Once again, ada.gov. Once again, ada.gov, and start reading service animals, and then go to frequently asked questions about service animals. Q question 27 and question, I believe, 13 or 14 will tell you some insights also, such as off leash. A service animal can be off leash. All right. If a service animal is walking ahead to clear a path, the service animal is allowed to do that. If it's a very slow person, they can do that. All right? They are allowed to do that. Okay? It is at the discretion of the person. And in order for you to fully understand how to handle everything that comes with a service animal, which honestly isn't much. All right? Once you understand how well protected you are, okay? All these naysayers, they don't have no power whatsoever. Some people fake service animal because of status, or they have something, but they're using their something as a status, and they don't realize that this isn't about trying to tell. If you have a service animal, you have no business trying to tell someone what a service animal that they're not that their animal is not a service animal. If that is your prerogative, anyone whose prerogative is to tell you that your service animal is not a service animal means they're not there. They don't have the animal for service animals, and they don't have their disability for disability's sake. They're not there to defend the disabilities. They're not there to defend your challenges, which could be physical challenges, mental, whatever. Mine's is a bunion, okay? But bunion, I know. They're not there. Long story short, they're not there to actually assist and defend our loved ones. Okay, they're there to try to subjugate. All right, Have you bowed? Have you? They're on their own agendas. Okay, they are very status. Okay, status driven versus freedom driven. All right, the the permissions, the perks, and the protections for people and their service animals or service animals in training is because it is a respect for freedom. Okay, it is a respect for freedom of the individual or the beings involved, the human and the non-human, the human and the dog. That's what these rules and these laws and these protections exist for your freedom. And you, how do you best implement that freedom? Okay, and how you best protect that freedom, especially from these naysayers, is by go and read. Trust me, it's not a hard read. It's not a hard read whatsoever. Go and read it. Go to 88.gov, go and read everything about a service animal. You can even look up, if you're in Florida, you can look up the Florida statute, I think it was 413 or 414, about service animals, and it will mention off leash. So it comes directly from the ADA because the ADA is the main ones on there. So if you've been discriminated against, if you feel you've been discriminated against and people are trying to like, you know, give you a hard time with your service animals simply because they don't have a connection with the dogs like that, okay, then guess what? You most likely are going to have to sue the individual. In my case, I've seen in public transportation systems that the public transportation system does know very well what the laws are. Okay. But if they have an eye looking for fake service animals, then they don't understand what's going on. That means they are looking for something wrong and they should be handled accordingly. Okay. If it's just the individual who is working within the business, then you can also go after the individual. Okay, put them in their place. Don't give these demons and their pawns any room. You put those boundaries. I've talked about these boundaries. Okay, you put those healthy boundaries. All right, on any pawn that's being used to try to tell you that your service animal or even your service animal in training is no service animal, because you have a process of training and you have a process of growing that they're not supposed to interfere with, number one, and they're not even actively involved. Point blank. That's it. And no other way around it. They're not actively involved in your service animal training, in your relationship with your animal. They are not actively involved, so they have no say. Okay? This is a spiritual entrepreneur, aka Spirit, aka the cosmic native. All right. Anyways, if you guys found value in that, we definitely appreciate the support. Now, I did mention as before, okay, part of my security team, all right, it's also part of the mega project. But one of the things about the mega project is that I have a security team where we are there to prevent and observe. We're there to observe, report, and prevent. Yeah, we're pros. Anyways, yeah, we're definitely some pros, man. We really are some pros in this stuff. So we're there to make sure that these civil liberties and freedoms are protected, because we know very well, and I have seen how certain people move, think, their tendencies of where they want to, of how they want to act. It's very easy to observe, especially for someone who practices. If you're someone who practices fasting, tapping into your intuition and meditation, you're very attuned, all right, with and connected with nature. We are the ones who can put these demons and all their slick ways to rest, all right, and set boundaries and protect other people who need this. Okay. So, anyways, join the mega project and tell me what you want to join for, why you want to join. Okay. Do you want to defend freedom and civil liberties? Do you want to be a part of the exosuits or the armor that we're building? Excuse me. You want to be part of the global combat games? All right. You want to do all these things and more. You want to be part of the all-terrain ships, the flying saucers, yes, that help with agriculture. Yeah, you want to do that and more. You tell me what you are interested in by sending an email for the mega project. Love is law. I am love at gmail.com. Okay, love really is the law. And if you guys would like to support this channel as well, you can do so with the Cash App. So you can support Rosy and this channel, okay, through Cash App. And like I said, ladies and gentlemen, go and read ada.gov. Go and read. Recognize just how much protection and laws are there to protect you and enforce those laws. Learn to enforce those laws. Learn to be real and raw at the moment, and learn to be steadfast and firm. Today we got tried more than 3 times by several people working in several departments, one being public transportation. Yeah, two being public transportation, two different kinds of public transportation, and one, oh yeah, no, that's about it. Two, it was all with two different kinds of public transportation. All right. Oh yeah, and one person from New York trying to impede, you know, talk to me as if they were, I said, completely incompetent. They didn't even know what mediation is. All right. Anyways, not to make a long story short, I basically just stood there quiet and I projected myself with firm and calmness. If I had to raise my voice just a little, I did. But at the same time, I ain't wasting no time arguing. All right. Sometimes you just gotta let these people talk. You already know what it is. You take down your notes. It's funny how the pen people get annoyed when you're taking down notes of what's going on when they're in the midst of violating, you know, your freedom and the freedom of your service animals. Right? They get cocky and they start to really trying to defend themselves and shit, and they get stupid. But when you stay quiet and you start noting down everything, all right, the pen really is mightier than the sword when you know how to work the magic for you and against, or for yourself and for yourself towards or in relation to anyone trying to enter your space, and in this case enter your space and your sacred connection and relationship with your animal companions. All right, namaste. Support the channel, join the mega project, and if you got a question you can go ahead and comment and share information with each other. Peace.